Well, hello my beautiful Gemini, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I'm using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Gemini, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is all about what's going on with you right now, how you're moving through this time period and what lies on the other side. Now, I don't know if you noticed that the Gaia chimes were pretty silent today, so this can indicate that perhaps there's a need for stillness, especially with water. So moments of self-care, taking a bath, for example, or spending time in water, if that's possible. I mean, there is this energy of slowing down, very reflective, very thoughtful about something. Stillness is the key. I mean, I don't like to influence the way the Gaia chimes move. You'll know that from other readings, but this time it was pretty silent. So perhaps this is something you're in need of. So I'll move on from that energy. Let us get straight to your reading. I mean, that normally means that you're super busy and there's a need to slow down and reflect in some way, but life is life. We don't always have that luxury, right? Okay, so let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? What do they need to know right now? What are they going through and what is crossing them at this time? What lies ahead? Can you please show them the way for their highest good? What do they need to be aware of at this moment in time? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? The first card there is the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups is an interesting card in this particular deck. There's three snakes on that cup. So perhaps some of you, this is a period of detoxifying, or perhaps healing from something. Three Cups is normally about relationships, friendships, people coming together, your community. So this is your foundational card. So this is your priority at this moment in time. You're focused on the people who are close to you. You are trying to celebrate the moment as much as possible. Be really, positive about life. How would you like to receive? Okay, this is the next one. We have the Seven of Swords there, and we have the Magician. So Seven of Swords can indicate that there is a need for independence. It can be that perhaps you are involved in a group of people, like your family, friendships, and you love spending time with them. It's important to create memories with the people you really care about, but there's a need to go off and refocus or do something different, perhaps. Some of you may even have chosen a path that is very different than the people around you, and you feel misunderstood in some way, or you feel kind of like underestimated. But I do see here that you're empowering yourself. I mean, the Magician card indicates you're strongly focused on something, a dream that you're making your reality. But I'm also being given this energy, especially that Four of Cups that has popped out. There could be someone in your immediate circumstances that you're a little bit disappointed with. I mean, there's a Seven of Swords there. Either you've just found out something about a person, or you're aware of something, you have a hunch about something there. Ten of Pentacles, you know, this can be family related, doesn't have to be friendships, but Three of Cups tends to mean group activity, or people who kind of like come together. Or we have the Strength card there as well. So this can be you trying to repair a dynamic in a relationship. I mean, Three of Cups doesn't always mean three people. It can be a dynamic between you and a friend or a family member that's a little bit complex and tense. And sometimes it's awesome, and sometimes people misunderstand each other, and sometimes it's downright frustrating. So it can be that you're trying to like work something out there and trying to kind of like get clear and, you know, distance yourself from the drama of it. So with that Strength card, I feel like a lot of you are having the courage to state your boundaries, or in some way walk away from something in order to relieve the tension. That Six of Pentacles can indicate that, you know, you're trying to create harmony and balance in your life. You're trying to just focus on your plans. You're trying to be aware of giving out more than you're getting back in a situation. I feel there is an energy here as well of perhaps interference for some of you. You may feel there's like a third person interfering in a friendship or relationship, because that Seven of Swords is a confidentiality breach, or it can be, you know, someone who's subtly kind of interfering in some way, or always puts a spoke in the wheel. I mean, this could even be like a neighbor. It could be your boss if you're in a career. It could be anybody that you already are aware of. That Wheel of Fortune, you know, that is going to turn things around. I definitely see here that you may surprise this person or this situation. And I mean, there's so many energies coming out here, but the main one I'm getting straight away is a dynamic between people, and how sometimes it's really hard to adjust and call someone out on something. And you're someone who is very honest, you're authentic, you tend to speak your truth. But yeah, I'm getting this energy with that High Priestess of withdrawing at this time. Staying silent on something. I mean, you may have discovered something about somebody, and you're like waiting and watching and kind of being very vigilant to see if they come clean or if they reveal their truth. I mean, this doesn't have to be something negative. I want you to be aware of that. It could be that you've discovered, or you have a hunch that a friend is pregnant, for example, and you're like waiting and watching to see if you're right on it. Of course, that person, they want to tell you, but it can be that they want to wait for the right time just to make sure everything's okay before they reveal. So it can be something like that, which is really positive. It doesn't have to be negative, but I feel some of you are going to be proven right on something, but you're just waiting and watching to see how it's all going to unfold, okay? King of Pentacles there as well. So we have one person energy. You know, the King of Pentacles can indicate, you know, grounding, stability, stating where you feel like you belong in a situation, you know, holding true to yourself, valuing yourself in a situation, especially in a group activity or dynamic. So it can be that, you know, you're providing maybe even evidence on something for some of you. And I will go deeper on your reading. These are things that are outside of yourself. This reading is about things that are inside of yourself. So, you know, I'll get to that bit in a moment. I have to touch the cards and feel the energy. But a lot of you, there is this energy of like life has got pretty serious, okay? And it feels with that Seven of Swords, because it is a crossing energy. It can be that you're trying to choose diplomacy in a situation, and it's eating you all up because you feel like you have to withdraw from something, but it's to protect your inner peace rather than to get involved in something. So I feel with this High Priestess, it's kind of like you being hypervigilant and sitting like on the sidelines, but still very much involved, if that makes sense. I just want to show you that Seven of Swords again, just to make sure it was okay on camera there for you to see. But I feel, you know, for some of you, you're removing yourself from a toxic situation or friendship or dynamic because, you know, snakes, that is your first card there. It can indicate once bitten, twice shy, or you've been dealing with a situation that has been, not very healthy for you. I mean, a lot of you personally, this can be that you are, cutting things out that don't make you feel good. It can be that you are removing yourself from something that perhaps is toxic in your body. It could be a substance like, whatever it is that you have a little bit too much of, for example. I always say a little bit of what you fancy is always nice. Balance is important. But with that Three of Cups there, because there's a snake on this card, personally, when you apply it to yourself, this can be that you are looking at the things that you attach yourself to, the things outside of yourself that inform your body, because your outcome card is a King of Pentacles, which is all about the body, okay? It's all about the body, the mind, the soul. It's about healthier options there. It's about valuing yourself. So a lot of you are looking at things outside of yourself that you connect to that you feel are negative or not good for you. So it could be with this Seven of Swords there that you're trying some sort of independent kind of like diet, for example, or you're trying out something a little bit different. You're cutting something out, maybe phasing it out at first, and eventually you'll conquer it, is what I see there. The Strength card is telling me about a complete severance of something here, and it's like you can pacify those temptations, for example. So that's coming out there as well. So this could be something that you're going through, especially since the Gaia chimes were super silent. There's this need for slowing down, for peace, for clarity, but also it started going really silent over the water. I don't know if you noticed that. I pick up on energy and I read the energy as well as see visions. And, when it's over the water, it tends to mean that someone out there is detoxifying or, decluttering their life, as it were, okay? But also, I feel this energy that some of you are noticing that your friendships are evolving. There's this distance. For some of you, it can be that with that Seven of Swords, something went down there where you're trying to work it out. It can be that you're disappointed with a person or situation at this time, and you've been leaning into certain friendships that bring you joy and that you can really rely on. You're looking at who is your ride or die. Who can you trust? Because the Seven of Swords is a trust card, really. It's about, who you can trust, who would betray you, who is not there for you. I feel a lot of you could be looking at gossip at this time as well, because Seven of Swords, the history of the Seven of Swords indicates that, the figure in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, they're removing the swords from the army. They're removing the weaponry, as it were, in order not to fight, to find an alternative way to resolve something. So some of you, there's this energy that in order to resolve an issue, you may be withdrawing to really think about it before you can, work out the best way to move forward. This could be, problem solving for some of you, and you will lead. You're very smart. King of Pentacles energy indicates that you're someone who has the intelligence. My guides are drawing me here. Now, I actually think this trinket came out for you before. I think it has Gemini on the back. Came out before. Yeah, Gemini. Yeah, this trinket only came out once before, and it was for you. I think it was once before. It was for your sign on the last reading I did for you, I think. And it's Gemini there, and intelligence. And I'm being given this energy right now as well, that you are someone who is going to work something out. Resolve it, okay? But in the midst of all that, you're valuing who you are, and you're choosing a healthier option for yourself, and you're prioritizing your own needs. You're readdressing some sort of balance there, okay? Now it says here, friendship, community, and happiness. So of course, you're someone that people around you, their happiness matters to you, but I feel a lot of you are learning that, some people cannot be pleased. Ever, no matter what you do. So you're learning that your happiness is not tied up with another person. Happiness comes from within, and it will filter out and it will inform the group, for example. So your happiness, it is magnetic. So when you are feeling high vibe, you give other people permission to shine their light as well. But there may be just that one person who always sees the negative. And although you've been there for that person, it can be that you feel it's time to remove yourself because they're draining your energy, I feel like you'd still be there for this person, but I feel right now, there's something here that you need to go off and do, perhaps even by yourself, at this time, and I feel like you're changing your life around because there's major lifestyle change cards here for you, and snakes represent change, and I feel this is the year, because it is the year of the snake there, that you are changing something. So it feels very much a lot of you are dealing with changes in your immediate circumstances, your friendship groups, your home life for some of you, because you have a Ten of Pentacles there. And I feel the nature of change is afoot, and you're navigating these changes, okay? And a lot of you, this can be that your independent streak is coming out. Perhaps something within you has changed, and it is affecting the people around you because you want to break free, do something. I'm being given the word imaginative. So some of you, you have a vision of something, and you know there's some really good luck coming on here for you. You're going to be in the right place at the right time to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. As I said, the Seven of Swords indicates that, you know, you're removing some challenge or difficulty, or some of you are actually learning to articulate your needs from a healthy space so that you don't, you know, be triggered, or you don't have any kind of like provocative conversations with people, because I feel like you're trying to remove drama from your life in general, okay? Swords are all about communication, the mind, thoughts, you know, and of course the ether, as it were. So some of you could even be trying to look at any intrusive thoughts at this time so that you can, you know, stop tearing yourself down and start building yourself up. But also the Seven of Swords can be someone betraying you, or having to deal with and heal from a betrayal. So if you've been going through that, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love, my beautiful Gemini. I hope nobody's going through that at this time, but the Seven of Swords has popped out, okay? And it does say on this card, deception, tactics, strategy, and trickery. Okay, so we do have a Ten of Pentacles here. So for some of you, this could be that if you've been going through a divorce or a separation, because it's in a past position, it can indicate that the person you've been dealing with has not been acting in their highest regard, and you're trying to remove yourself from the situation so that it does not infiltrate your inner peace. You're trying to be really disciplined to not get drawn into their drama or into their lies, for example. But this could also be someone from the family unit if you deal with someone who has been toxic or has lost their way, okay? Sometimes people lose their way. Essentially, they are good at heart, but they've lost their way. So you may be dealing with someone like that right now. And I feel this person sometimes, and this is the hardest thing, okay, because I see a removal or a withdrawal. And I got to be honest with the energy that's coming through. Sometimes in order not to enable the behavior, we must withdraw. We can be there to support a person, but if our support is only enabling a situation to continue, the cycle will never change, okay? So we have that Four Cups. Some of you are like at your wit's end, like so fed up of this. It's like you're becoming numb to this now. And this is only if you're going through this. I don't see this coming because this is your foundation card. And what's crossing you at this moment in time is the Seven of Swords. So, you know, I feel you can resolve this with this person because it is in a crossing position. So if you're dealing with a very challenging person or situation, I mean, there could be something that's just not fair that you're dealing with right now, and you're trying to work out the best way to lead and proceed. I feel like you will find a resolution because the Seven of Swords is in the crossing position, which means you read it in the reverse as well as in the upright, okay? And in the reverse, it basically means making amends, or even catching someone if they're doing something like untoward, in stealth mode, as it were. Now, for some of you, I'm going to move away from that energy. Firstly, I'm sending you so much love there. I feel like you're valuing yourself and saying, actually, this is impacting me too much, and I have to step back, okay? So if you're dealing with that, I feel like, you know, you're strong enough to step back and not get involved in this, but also there's some really great karma and good luck coming your way is what I see there. Six of Pentacles can indicate, for some of you, especially if you are going through a separation or divorce, there could be an intermediary there. I mean, if you're in separation with someone right now and you're just wanting to heal this, but the person has lost their way, or, you know, you're going through some very challenging times right now, the Six of Pentacles can indicate that there could be a third party mediation. So it could be, if you're like in a relationship right now, it could be a relationship counselor, for example, example. You could get that person on board to really like help with the crisis there and try and resolve the issue so both parties can state their case. You know, with that King of Pentacles, there can be, you know, a protection energy in the relationship, but it may come at the cost of having a third party kind of, you know, come on in and, I almost want to say, like, give leading questions or provocative questions in order to find out the root cause of the conflict on both sides, okay? Because Six of Pentacles is to hear both sides. I want you to be aware of that, okay? So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from the energy. I feel the relationship can be healed and saved. However, I feel there needs to be accountability on both sides and taking responsibility for actions. The truth can be achieved, but also balance and harmony can resolve the issue, and you can continue protecting the relationship. But there's a need to disconnect at first to give things a breath in order to find the next necessary steps in order to proceed, okay? So I'm going to leave it like that there. For some of you, there's a trust issue in the relationship, and this could be something from the past. Could even be a root cause from the family unit, okay, that has been passed down generation to generation, and it is a generational wound that needs to be healed. It needs to be acknowledged, especially with the High Priestess, that, you know, there's a reprogramming going on here. Anything from the past, especially if it's something someone witnessed that has now triggered a trust issue in a relationship, it has to be acknowledged that that is not your narrative, or it's not their narrative. It's the past or the family's narrative, and it's a cycle that you're breaking right now. Or whether you're dealing with a partner who is breaking some generational cycles there. It's going to take compassion and care and time, but at the same time, you cannot enable the cycle repeat by constantly just accepting things the way they are, okay, and trying to pacify or work out or challenge. There has to be a moment where it's like, enough. Okay, so again, with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from that energy. Now, personally, because this is something outside of yourself, Three of Cups is always drawing someone outside of themselves. You are an overgiver, my beautiful Gemini, especially with a King of Pentacles there. It means basically that you are someone who cares so much. You're very serious about the people in your life. And of course, you have that Six of Pentacles there as well, which indicates you're always giving of yourself. And perhaps there is a time for stillness in order to work out something. Some of you may even like quietly remove yourself, because this can be to operate in stealth mode. I mean, for some of you, not all of you, and I'm picking up a hit of this energy right now. Some of you are quietly leaving a relationship that perhaps has been very challenging, maybe even very toxic and abusive. Some of you are quietly leaving there, and you have the strength to do this. And you may even lean into friendships or trust somebody in order to help you make that move. And you will be free of that, okay, is what I see. And on the other side is, you know, a wonderful, healthy lifestyle. And if you're worried about finances, the King of Pentacles there indicates that there will be opportunities for you to step into abundance, and, you know, you will be secure financially as well. So again, with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy and move forward. The majority energy I have here is a lot of you are doing some reprogramming right now. The Magician card tells me that you're reclaiming your power. You're a very passionate person, and I'm actually being given in the water an image of a volcano, okay, and it erupting. So some of you may have felt like you've been laying dormant for some time, almost like off-grid or under the radar, because the Seven of Swords can be to be off-grid or in some way in stealth mode. You may feel like almost like hermit mode, but dipping in from time to time. So I feel some of you, there is this energy of like suddenly your passions are starting to rise within you. You're getting excited about certain things again after a period of that Four Cups. Four Cups is an energy of feeling like apathy or feeling a little bit numb. But it can be that you're gathering the strength in order to make this monumental change in your life. You know, when the universe sends us a pause, it has purpose. It's to recalibrate. It is to reprogram in order to look at where we're happy, look at what's not working, and try and make a monumental shift towards something that would benefit us long term. So you could be in that period where you feel almost like in stillness, I mean, I feel there's a call for more stillness, because I feel it went over the water, in particular, that stillness. So that is connected to your visions, your goals, your dreams, and you're working really hard to, manifest those. You have the Magician card, which is a manifestation card, but also the King of Pentacles indicates you can, make your dreams become a reality. They show up on the material plane. That's when things start to get real. They take shape. But the Seven of Swords can indicate sometimes there's doubt. Sometimes, these intrusive thoughts tear you down when you're about to do something monumentally successful for yourself, whether it's, a personal project, whether it's career related, or whether it is, diet related. It can be that as soon as, and I'm only speaking from my experience here, but, it can be that as soon as you decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to cut out chocolate for a little while, my body goes, we need double the amount of chocolate that you've been having right now. Suddenly the cravings are coming. You're like, at first you may be like, okay. And there's that like pinnacle point where you get over the craving. And then it's like, oh, I don't even need it. You don't want it. It's like that intense kind of like intrusive thoughts. Okay. Humans, we tend to get really, I'm going to just say intense when it comes to something that we feel like we cannot have. When someone says you shouldn't have that, or you can't have that, or there's a limit of that right now, and not everybody gets it. Suddenly, everybody goes crazy, right, to try and get the thing that they feel like they can't have, even if they didn't want it at first, really, So I feel for some of you, you're just noticing thoughts. When you're detoxifying or cutting something out, there's intrusive thoughts. Or when you're about to do something that is going to bring huge success, sometimes those little whispers come on in, like, what if you fail? What if it goes wrong? What if this person's double crossing you? What if this? I feel right now, with this Magician card, you're reclaiming your power in a situation and saying enough. You're capable of so much, and you have everything within you right now. You're a visionary to make your dreams become a reality, whatever dreams they are. It says here willpower, creation, and mastery. So that's what I'm talking about, the willpower to, remove yourself from a situation that draws you into arguments or toxicity, or, a lot of you are having the willpower to meditate, for example, or to implement some sort of stillness in your life, because it can be hard, whenever it's time to meditate. Sometimes, something comes to distract, like a cell phone, like, a message or some sort of news related item or something. It feels like there's a busy world right now, and it's always been busy, of course, but a lot of you are looking at where you're giving away your energy to and whether it is healthy for you long term. Now, of course, the Three of Cups with the Seven of Swords, when we apply it to world events, some of you, of course, are feeling that there is some energy, shall we say, that perhaps is not beneficial for the community or the collective. You may feel that there's some underhanded tactics going on, or someone lied, or something went on that perhaps has been under the surface, but now it's being revealed, as it were, because of course you have the energy with that Seven of Swords when it's in a crossing position, that something that was under the radar is revealed, or a truth comes to light, as it were. And now you're focused on security, because Ten of Pentacles is all about security. It can be that you're thinking about your family, you're thinking about community, you're thinking about perhaps global events as well. A lot of you with that King of Pentacles, you could feel that perhaps this is all about finances. Perhaps this is all about, changing things, because we have the Wheel of Fortune there, and you're not sure how these changes are going to go. But the Four of Cups says, we've been here before. This keeps happening. When do we put an end to this cycle? So a lot of you are trying to, be stoical in your energy and work out what's the best for you in this situation, and keeping an eye on your finances, for example, conserving your finances, because of course any crisis normally affects our pockets. So it can be that you're just trying to recalibrate at this time and be stricter with your finances, or be more savvy with your finances, because you can acknowledge that, you know, you're just watching and waiting right now, but you know that it may affect you financially in some way. But with that King of Pentacles, I feel you are a provider, you are a protector of your finances. So I feel, you know, you're in a really good position no matter the circumstances that you're thinking about right now, because looking at the energy, but it could be something that's there. I cannot ignore the fact that circumstances outside ourselves, because you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is change. You know, sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. And it can indicate that you're just aware of how volatile a situation is right now, and it could change on a dime. But I feel the Ten of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles being in your reading tells me about security, about groundedness, about not allowing fears to limit you or rob you of joy, for example. You know, I'm going to move away from the energy, but it did pop out there. But that Magician card, it tells me all about your inner strength and having all the necessities for you to live your life, okay? This indicates you're a very talented person, very gifted. Anything you turn your hand to, you can accomplish. But I would say, for some of you with that Magician energy, you know, something that you're creating right now, just be mindful of who you tell about this, because there could be a breach of confidentiality, or, you know, you might want to copyright it, trademark it, patent it, whatever it is to secure it, because there could be like an intellectual property breach here if you are a creator, because you do have a creator card. So whatever creation you're doing right now, I would say that once you get it out there in the public with the Three of Cups, it can be taken by a multitude of people and utilized as their own. Or it could be someone, you know, if you're in a working environment, it could be a boss or someone in your team who tries to take credit for something. So make sure you find a way to document that it was your idea. Or, you know, for example, some of you may have neighbors that they see you doing one thing and then suddenly they copy it because they really like it. And of course, copying is the highest form of flattery, but at the same time, when you're trying to be independent and different and do things, you know, differently, even if it's decoration, for example, or, you know, something in your backyard, if you're lucky enough to have one of those, or it's something that you're doing some DIY with, you may note that people are copying you and you're like, okay, that's nice, but I wanted to do this because it's unique and different, and now everybody's doing it. So that's there as well. But let's move on from that. We have that Ten of Pentacles. So it tells me with the King of Pentacles there, a lot of you have so much responsibility on your shoulders. You feel a sense of duty. You're duty bound to something at this time. And with that Four of Cups, it can indicate that life got pretty serious in the last couple of years. And, you know, you're very gregarious, outgoing, fun, exciting to be with. I love my Geminis in my friendship groups. You know, so much fun is had with a Gemini always. But also, you can like flip on a dime and have the most intense conversations and debates about things. And you're so knowledgeable about everything. It's like, any topic, you can just rise to the occasion and just know stuff about it. So that's what I love about my beautiful Geminis. And it can be that you feel that you've been in some sort of cycle repeat recently and you want to break out or kind of like strike out on your own a little bit, because that Seven of Swords is crossing, which can indicate that if you have so much responsibility, whether you're a parent, a guardian, whether you are committed to your ambitions, your work, it just can indicate that you've had little time for yourself to go off and explore or do something a little bit different there. But you will find that time. You will carve out that time for you. And it says here, legacy, inheritance, and culmination. So some of you are actually thinking about your legacy at this time and, you know, the experiences that you've had, how unfair it has been. There's an energy here of you being self-made. You came up and you're coming up if you're moving through life at different stages, of course. All of you will be at different stages, but I feel like either you're coming up or you've come up and, you know, there was a lot of adversity that you had to conquer with that Seven of Swords. And you're someone who is strong enough to weather the challenges in life. And of course, you know, it's all fair and well saying that you're strong enough. You wish it didn't happen, but sometimes, unfortunately, life is life, and we have to just navigate that big old wave and, you know, ride with it and deal with the circumstances and the resources that we've got. But you're the sort of person looking at the energy that you look at what you got, because you can turn your hand to anything and make it work. That's what the Magician card does. And, you know, you are someone who right now, you're kind of like, I would say reviewing your life and looking at what you're not happy with, what's dissatisfying, or what hasn't worked there, so you can improve on it, or you can like move on from it and involve yourself elsewhere. And I feel there is this energy of feeling really proud of yourself that you've done so much, you've come so far, and still, you can be responsible, self-made, but also down to earth. And you should be really proud of yourself there. This is you looking at your legacy. What does your life say about you? And that could be a monumental thought right now. And with that Seven of Swords, it can be that, in those thoughts, when we think about our legacy and what we stand for, what did we do during certain times when you were called to rise to an occasion, because you're a very strong person. So I feel like you're the sort of person who would just get involved in everything and find a solution and make things right. You're a true humanitarian as well, is what I'm feeling from your energy. But you could be like feeling that you've been doing so much, there's a need to disconnect and give back to yourself in some way, okay? Now, also, some of you may feel it hasn't been fair. You're waiting for a breakthrough. You may feel the universe has kind of like left you out there in the cold for a little bit. That Four of Cups can indicate that with certain aspects in your life, you've been there, done that, and you're like, is this it? Is this life? So some of you could be feeling a bit disenchanted in this moment, a little bit disappointed with someone or something, because Seven of Swords and a Four of Cups is like you're fed up. Okay, you're fed up of something and you're like, I'm refusing to get involved in this, or this is just like it always is and nothing ever changes, okay? But the universe is giving you an opportunity to change. Of course, change starts with self, and you do have the nature of some sort of change going on within yourself, and that is going to inform your outside circumstances. But as you can see, this beautiful figure has a cup there on the crown chakra, and of course it is a scrying vessel. Any body of water that is in a vessel is a potential tool to scry. I mean, you can scry with lots of different things. You can scry with a black obsidian mirror, for example, or a crystal ball, but the strongest energy comes from something like water, okay? It's very fluid. You can get a lot more clarity with it. Doesn't mean that the other tools are not great. They really are as well. And I love both of those tools as well as scrying with the water. But this can indicate that, you're going to find peace in your visions because they're going to become a reality. You're going to see things start to take shape for you. This indicates the universe is going to surprise you very shortly with something that will literally change your life or change your fortune, because you have the Strength card and the Wheel of Fortune with that Six of Pentacles. So this normally means that just when you least expect it, or you're feeling doubt, or I wouldn't say giving up on something, because the Strength card indicates diligence. It indicates that you're strong enough to go the distance on something. But sometimes, that Seven of Swords, there can be limiting kind of thoughts, or thoughts that are very intrusive that tear you down, especially when you're not seeing the measure of success that you're hoping for, and it can feel like it's never coming, even though you're working really hard and putting all your effort into life in general. But what I do see is, out of this challenge comes an opportunity that you will grab with both hands. And I feel, this is a change of fortune. So if you've been asking the universe for something or manifesting, because it is a manifestation, it's opposing the Magician. Okay, so that tells me that something that you've been desiring is on its way for you. But because the Seven of Swords is there, remember to believe. Believe, 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 believe. Okay, believe and receive. That's the energy that's coming out here. Now it says here, apathy, contemplation, and disconnection. So really interesting, because I saw that volcano. So I feel a lot of you, there's this energy of maybe even laying dormant for a while or being off grid, but it feels like you're kind of awakening for some of you, or it could be that the pressure has been on and suddenly it's got to a critical point where you need to change something, and now you're having the strength to do that, because the Magician normally is connected to a pyramid, okay? Not in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, but the Magician is all about channeling the foundational energy upwards. So it's like the alignment of the chakras, for example. You have that foundational energy, and that's at the root chakra, and it goes all the way up to the crown. So As you can see there, there's a foundational shift going on within you, and now you're re-empowering yourself in some way. You're a really strong person because life has taught you to be strong. You've had to. You've had to show up for yourself there, especially with that King of Pentacles. Even though you're an air sign, you know, the King of Pentacles represents that you are someone who is diligent, you're self-made, you know, you enjoy the finer things in life, and, you know, there has been responsibility, and it may have felt a little bit dull or boring, but now you're trying to embrace some sort of change. You're sticking with something right now because you know that deep down it's going to work, and it can involve some sort of routine or repetitive cycle because of that Wheel of Fortune there. But it says courage, inner strength, and conviction, and you have the courage of your convictions to make something work. You're not going to give up on it, and you're going to see it through to the end, and it's going to flourish and thrive. And a lot of you, you know, this can be that you're anxious about finances, but the Ten of Pentacles, especially when it comes to your family and your savings, you know, this can be that for some of you, you're looking at who overspends because the Seven of Swords is there, or you could be looking at the nature of the spending for some of you. But that King of Pentacles indicates you're stricter with finances, and you're going to pool your resources in order to be able to save, but also make more money. You're responsible with your finances. So if you have been concerned with material issues recently, I feel there's an energy here of you correcting something or finding a solution to it. And the universe is going to send you a lifeline as well. This could be through a third party situation, or it could be an opportunity that increases your wealth, okay? Now, the advice to yourself in this moment is balance. It is about harmony. It is about not giving too much of yourself. It is an energy here of you trying to find stability in chaos, or, you know, trying to find your footing in something that perhaps is uncharted territory, because there's something new coming on in here for you. So I feel some of you are, well, definitely you're getting some sort of good karma, because a Wheel of Fortune is karma, of course, and you've got the Six of Pentacles, like a boomerang of karma coming back to you at this time for good deeds in the past. If you're owed money from someone as well, there's a potential to get some money, you know, back, or not just back, but owed, delivered, let's put it that way. So that's coming through there as well. But, you know, it says here charity, generosity, and sharing, and you've got the Three of Cups, which is sharing. Okay, so I feel you are trying to find your soul tribe, or trying to share yourself with people who really get you, who see you, who appreciate you, and who can inform you as well. So I feel a lot of you could be looking for soul tribe members, because I feel there has been some changes in your friendship groups or in your immediate circumstances with relationships. And this could have occurred over the last couple of years, and you're trying to navigate your way, and it may have felt a little bit isolating or fed up energy, like, you know what, why are people like this, closed-minded? Or it can be that you're very open-minded and people just don't see things that you see, and it can be that you're just subtly removing yourself from these situations and, you know, searching for people who get you, or people who understand what you've been going through in some way. So I feel there is this energy with the Six of Pentacles always that any problems are overcome, and the universe steps in with divine intervention to help you. So something you've been asking for, praying for, manifesting, it shall be delivered. But you do have King of Pentacles energy with a Ten of Pentacles. It can indicate it will be a slow moving process, but then suddenly out of the blue it comes on in. So with the High Priestess, I would say there's still a little bit of a pause for you to you know, receive this thing, but it is coming. Okay, but the main message here, and this is your advice to yourself position, which is not to give out more than you're giving back. And that's in all aspects of life. Relationships, because you're starting with relationships card or community card, even if it's a neighbor, or, you know, even if it's like someone in your neighborhood that perhaps you're always doing favors for. Or it could be a family member that you're always doing favors for and you don't mind it, but suddenly you're like, hang on a minute, I got no time for me. You're constantly asking, and I don't mind giving, but there has to be a limit. Or perhaps, you know, if there's that one time that you go, you know what, I really need a favor, and they're like, oh, sorry. And you're like, oh, okay, you acknowledge that, okay, they can't do it. That's their prerogative. But at the same time, you're like, okay, when have they ever been there? You know, so I feel some of you may be looking at the nature of that in relationships as well. But we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is something outside of yourself. Fortunes change, but I feel you're on the up. It may not feel like that right now, but you're turning a corner. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, it is something that is outside of yourself, so it can be that you're surrendering to fate on something. believing that the universe will provide at some point, but you have been feeling that things have been out of your control or disruptive recently, and you're trying to strike it lucky in some way, and you will. This is a stroke of luck coming your way, and you have no control over this. So I feel this is a positive shift or change for you. A lot of you with the King of Pentacles, this is something outside of yourself, though. You could see a win financially on something. That's not going to resonate with everyone, but you're increasing 10 of Pentacles to a King of Pentacles. So there's some sort of financial increase there, and it could be that you win an opportunity or you win a competition, or, it can be that you make a good deal on the stock markets, for example. I mean, things are pretty volatile right now, and I don't even want to do the July forecast because of all the placements and the energy that I feel. It's something that's overwhelming me right now, but anyway, I'll get around to it. But it can be, just be a little bit mindful and diligent with the stock market at the moment. Seven of Swords can indicate some insider trading, so just watch out if people who make big radical moves during this period and you're like, that's a bit weird, why are they making those moves? It may be that there's something going on there that they're aware of that perhaps you're not. So just be aware of that, okay? But the Wheel of Fortune, as you can see, there's a figure here reflecting. So it can be that for some of you that you're reflecting on your life right now, and because the legacy card is there, you're kind of trying to work out what you see. What is the legacy? What is the legacy that you leave behind? And it says here, fate, karma, and fortune. So I feel you have a lot of cards connected to water in this reading as well. So some of you may even be dehydrated, so just watch out for that. But as you can see, this person is submerging themselves in something. And this person has the vision, keeping that vision alive, and it's almost like she's about to walk through the mirror into the vision in order to submerge herself into something. So I feel a lot of you, this can be something that you started a long time ago. It's like keep the vision alive because you're submerged in this now. It's happening. The universe is going to deliver. There's no turning back on something, and it's super positive, whatever it is. But we've got that High Priestess. This is a hope and a fear. So a lot of you, you fear that you've disconnected from your higher self in some way, or maybe, your higher self and your intuition has been lesser than usual because you've been so busy, you've had so much responsibility, so you've been giving so much of yourself out, and there is a need for this stillness. The fear, of course, is not hearing your inner voice, because the High Priestess can be a connection, as I said, to higher realms there, and it's in the reverse. You read both sides when it's in this position of the card, and it says here wisdom, intuition, and subconscious mind. So the hope here is that intuitively you're going to make the right moves in life. So you're maybe making some changes right now, and for some of you these changes may be that you're moving away from friends or family, and it hurts. But you desire this independent life elsewhere. For some of you, it may be job related, that you're moving abroad or you're moving somewhere for an opportunity. Or maybe, family. You're moving your family overseas or to a different place, and you are looking at what you leave behind, but you're not leaving them behind. They're always going to be in contact with you. And at first, the new neighborhood or the new experience is exciting. Then it gets really daunting. Then you feel like you don't fit in somehow, and then you integrate. So there's going to be stages. So if some of you are worried about that right now, I feel the message is give it time. There's always a connection to the people that you love, and they support you. Okay? They may be, I feel like there's one person, if you're going through that situation, I feel there's one person who there may be some emotional blackmail, like they don't want you to go. It comes from a place of love, but it should not control. You need to make your own independent decisions because it is your life, and they will adjust to it. And, when they come and visit you, actually, it's going to be the best thing. They're going to embrace it. Okay, so, but the High Priestess is to review. So right now, if you're witnessing changes going on within yourself and your friendships or your family, it can be that you have one foot in the old you and one foot in the new you. So it feels like you're in between worlds somehow, okay? And it feels a little bit discombobulating as you navigate this new chapter of your life. It's going to be very rewarding, but sometimes we can feel like we're in like no man's land. We're in limbo, as it were, when you're making the changes. So some of you, if you're feeling a little bit like on hold in the waiting room of life right now, you may be doing a lot of questioning there, and you may be fearing that that's it, you're going to get stuck there. But actually, I feel that, you are going to thrive, and you're making some great decisions for yourself, and you're loyal to your goals, to your family, to your duties, but you must also be loyal to yourself and value your own needs there too. A lot of you, this can be a big message about stillness and meditation in order to connect to your higher vision and also to your higher self, okay? It can be there's a lot of distractions. Just when you're about to go and connect to your higher self, suddenly there's something. Somebody always wants a piece of you, or something catches your attention and you're fed up. So it can be that, you're having the willpower to say no. You're having a cutoff point where you're like, no, I'm not going to go to answer that phone call. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to honor my alone time, because it's sacred. That's what that high priestess, sacred alone time. In silence, wisdom is delivered. So a lot of you are trying to find that quiet space. I mean, some of you may even be thinking about going on a spiritual retreat at this time as well, if you're lucky enough to have the funds to do so. A lot of you could be like saving for that at this time. But your outcome energy is the King of Pentacles. All about security. It's all about building wealth. It's about structure. It's about seriousness. It's about life is serious sometimes, but we must navigate the responsibilities that we have, but also we must find balance. So if you're like laden with responsibility and tasks and duties and all of those things all the time, and there's no time for fun, then you're going to rob yourself of joy, but also it's going to kind of like make you feel really kind of frustrated, because balance and variety, it is the spice of life, okay? So I know it's easier said than done. Life is pretty hard right now, so it is hard to find time to have any fun, and sometimes fun costs money. It doesn't have to, when you're with your besties, with your friends, of course, this is great quality time, or when you're with your family, those are the times that are important. They build memories there, and I feel there is this energy, though, of wanting to go out and do something different with that Seven of Swords, because it is an independent lifestyle choice. So some of you are making that at this time. And it's okay if people don't understand the choices you're making, because this is your life. And I feel like you're going to do it with style. King of Pentacles indicates you're secure enough to explore, okay? Secure to explore, my guide just said. So with that King of Pentacles energy, I feel anything that you're overly concerned with right now, you're bringing your worries into perspective, and you know that you're in a really good position to weather the next stages of your life, okay? This card can also indicate that a mentor will either enter into your life and help you, or someone you look up to that will help you or add some value to your life in some way, but also you are a mentor. You have been through some stuff, and you could actually share your wisdom with other people, whether you're sharing it with your family, whether you're sharing it as you guide the next generation if you're a parent, for example, or whether you're sharing it with your friends. You could even share it with a collective. You have something to share. You have value and some experience that you've been through, which I feel has been very challenging. You may be reflecting on this and thinking, how could I share this information with others so they could avoid the pitfalls or understand the path that they're taking? Some of you may even write about it. You may document it, or in some way, do a podcast or something about it, which could actually bring you finances as well. So even if you're retired, it can be that you've been through a very interesting life. You've had so much experience, because the King of Pentacles is experience. No matter what stage you're at, you don't have to be retired. It can be that you've come to this life to experience, and experience you have, and both the negative and the positive aspects. And it could be that you are going to share that wisdom with other people, and it could make you some finances there as well. But most importantly, it will fulfill you, knowing that, you shared responsibly with the world around you, and the legacy is leaving the world a better place than when you found it. Your patch of the world. We've all got a little patch of our world, and every moment counts. Look at that. That's the first message that came out. Learn how to honor and treat your body well. Okay, so that's a big message coming out from this particular reading there. So, oh my gosh, you will get what you wish for, but is it what you truly want? Maybe that's what that Four of Cups is about there. You are going to be offered something, okay? Is it what you wish for? Perhaps there's an aspect of it that you think, not as fulfilling as I thought it would be, but you still got your wish. And then you'll be on to the next one. So you'll kind of like adjust what you wish for based on what you receive. But I feel like you get exactly what you wish for. That's also come out in this reading. I love it when, you know, the final deck literally clarifies all the energy that came out in the reading. Yeah, a lot of you are exhausted, under pressure. That's what that volcano image was about. It says, you're pushing yourself to exhaustion. Enjoy yourself in between all of your hard work. I mean, drop the mic. That was the last message that came out in this reading there, okay? So I hope it does resonate for some of you out there. Of course, it's not going to resonate with everyone. I hope there's Geminis all over the place just having so much fun and saying, what responsibilities, you know, but I know that that's not life for everybody, of course, including myself. But, you know, I feel like you are putting so much hard work into your life. And I did mention that in this reading. And yes, you know, a lot of you, there is this stillness or need to withdraw because it is exhausting. So I just want to show you this as well. You will get what you wish for, okay? But is it what you really, truly want, okay? So genie's lamp energy there. And some of you, yeah, there may be this energy of trying to do some sort of activity like yoga, Pilates to bring peace of mind. Meditation definitely came through there as well. I mean, that could also connect to like a spiritual retreat, maybe even if it's one day. I mean, it could even be like a class at the gym, if you're lucky enough to go to the gym as well, where you're finding some sort of activity that brings you peace. Okay, so finally, we've got a pair of scissors. So cutting things out that don't bring you joy or don't, you know, inform you in a healthy way. This could be you reshaping your landscape, as it were. But I definitely feel that you are holding the scissors and you are looking at reframing things in a different way so that you can benefit and maybe even cutting out, as I said, any intrusive thoughts there as well. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading, my beautiful Gemini. Thank you so much and love and light.